Hi, this is Rob from Ram Knife Sheaths, and I'm here to do a demonstration on ferrocerium rods, how to start a fire with one. I've seen a lot of videos on how to do this, and a lot of guys take the approach where they just hold the steel and you strike sparks randomly into their tinder, and sometimes when you do that, you tend to knock your tinder all over the place. Now I use a couple different. I use the Army style fire steel normally, but for this demonstration, I want to show you with a smaller one. This is the Light My Fire Scout, and how easy it is to light a fire if you prepare properly the first time. What I've done here is I got a piece of yellow birch bark, and I prepared it by scraping off the top layer, and I'm using the curl of the bark to my advantage. What I want to do is strike the sparks into that curl. I don't want them bouncing randomly all over the place. I want them to kind of get trapped in this area. But first, what I'm going to do is scrape a little bit of the rod off into that loose bark. So what I'm going to do here now is put a little pressure down. I got a real windy day here. I got a big gust coming up here, so I'm going to pause for a second and let this blow by. Otherwise, my preparation is going to be all over the woods. Preparation is the key. That's the whole key to this, is preparing your tinder properly. And actually, what I do is anytime I hike into a site, I look on the trail as I'm going along for sources of good tinder, and I'll stop and pick them and stuff them into my pack, and so I can use them then when I get to the destination where I plan to spend the night, rather than having to find all the resources right where I decide to camp. It's not always that easy. The wind isn't going to cooperate. It was still here the entire time I was setting up, and now I have lots of wind. And normally I wouldn't be doing this up this high. For the sake of the video, I am, but I need a hard surface to do it on, and that would be a log or a flat rock or something closer to the ground. And if I was doing it at my campsite, but for the sake of the video, I've got it up higher on this bigger log, and it's unfortunately affected more by the wind. So some of my tinder is blown away. I've scraped the birch bark off, and I got loose birch bark inside that curl. For the most part, it should all be there. It's starting to blow now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push some shavings off in here. Putting pressure on the fire steel, and just pushing some rod off. Now what I'm going to do, instead of just striking, what I'm actually going to do is just turn the blade, the back of the knife against the fire steel, rather than pushing it into my tinder. Just twist my wrist. That's all I'm going to do here. and we have fire. And it's pretty, that's that simple. And you can transport this to your place, wherever you're gonna. You don't have to do it right in the fire pit. You can do it a little bit of ways. This thing's gonna burn for a pretty long time once you get this thing going. And I can move it anywhere I want. So anyway, that's how easy it is. Preparation and just take your time scraping that fire steel.